What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today, BCH USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 26th day of October, and here we are at about $561, up 10.3% on the day. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. We're riding the green dragon today, baby. 10 hours, 28 minutes left. It's nice, but isn't it funny how like this just doesn't. I don't know. Speaking for myself, out of all the coins, like if I was holding with KTA or Onyx Coin or Zora or Cookie DAO, when they're up 10%, I get excited. When Bitcoin Cash is up 10%, it's almost like an expectation. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Go higher though. You know what I mean? Like we've got more. This is still cheap. 500, and I'm not trying to belittle it by saying that. I'm just saying it's not surprising, right? Like we're expecting it to move higher. Really, we're at this pinnacle moment in Bitcoin Cash's existence where we're literally about to break out. We're about to see the breakout move of this lifelong consolidation phase come to an end. I mean, we literally broke out of this 3 months ago. And here we are, 3 months later from the breakout point, back testing this line for support. This kind of moment, you guys, in my 10 years of doing technical analysis, these kind of moments do not come, or they don't come around too often. Okay? Maybe like 5 times. They don't. And when I say they don't come around, there's every single day there are charts that break out of a trend line and they back tested for support. Every single day that happens. That's not what I mean. I just mean a situation, a moment where you're in a lifelong historical consolidation phase. Multiple cycles, bear markets and bull markets included. Multiple cycles. You've broken out of it and you're back testing it for support, and you're getting such a clear sign of approval with the massive size of this wick here. We got 5 days, 11 hours left in this month. Tell me that this is anything but a bullish month. You can't. This is super bullish. At least as long as we close here or higher in the next 5 days, 11 hours. And I think by the end of this analysis, we'll come to conclude that yes, that's what's likely going to happen, is that we close this month higher than where we are now. This is spectacular. It's great. It really is great. And what's going to happen from here? You're looking at this. There's only really two, or maybe I should say three, considerable targets, right? The first one is this high, the next one is this high, and then the third one is new all-time highs. I thoroughly expect that this move, this initial move of this overall phase of this breakout that we're going to see here, is going to take us to something that is above $1,600. I think that we will be around $2,000, $2,200, something like that. And if I'm wrong, I think I'm only going to be wrong because we moved higher, not because we moved lower. I'm genuinely anxious to see how voluptuous this move will be. Because at the very least, we're going to 1,700 or higher. That's my expectation. At the very least, we're going to take out this high. At a minimum. And then at that point, beyond just the great pump, which is going to draw in people, beyond the fact that we're seeing gains and you're moving up, you're outperforming the average coin in the top 100, which is going to draw people in, we're going to see higher highs cycle after cycle for the first time in Bitcoin Cash's history. And at that point, this thing takes a different turn. The dynamic shifts from this thing, right? People start to come around, right? Nobody wants to invest in a chart that's been seeing lower highs cycle after cycle. Nobody wants to, right? Why would you? There's plenty of charts that have higher highs. But if you're in it for the tech, if you're in it for the fundamentals, like I think anybody who invested in Bitcoin Cash is right now, you know, you can see these things happen before they happen, right? And I really do believe that anybody who's investing now, you're going to be in a really prime position of strength. It's going to be legendary, right? Imagine buying Bitcoin at $557. That's effectively the equivalent that we have here. And again, the thought is that once we get above this high, the average market participant will start thinking the same thing. The reality is, guys, right now, at a $557 price, we think Bitcoin Cash is cheap. It's on sale. It's at a good price. And that $2,000, man, that's going to be high. That's going to be expensive. But the reality is, whenever we're there, everybody in crypto is going to start to look at Bitcoin Cash in a different light, and they're going to be like, wow, $2,000 versus $114,000, or maybe by the time Bitcoin Cash gets there, $130,000 Bitcoin versus a $2,000 Bitcoin Cash. This is really cheap. Bitcoin Cash, Dragon Rider's perspective, we're going to be like, wow, this is a high point. It's still cheap. We all know it's cheap. We know where this thing's going in the long term. We know even at a $2,000 price, 100x potential by the end of next cycle or the following cycle is very possible. Okay, we all know that. But the rest of the market is going to start to know that too. And there's going to be people who are, what's going to be crazy is you would think that we'd be at a selling point. Maybe we will. Maybe there will be. I would expect there to be some volatility. Bitcoin Cash is definitely volatile. But I would bet there's going to be a lot of demand too, because the dots are going to connect in people's heads that hold on now. This is like a time machine. It's the better Bitcoin. It literally is more cohesive to the white paper that Satoshi Nakamoto made himself than BTC itself is. $557 right now. I think we have immaculate potential, you guys, to genuinely see some groundbreaking historical price action with this thing. Looking at this on the daily time frame, shifting gears now, getting into the shorter term stuff. Let's actually look at the 1 hour time frame. A lot of volume there on Coinbase. Lovely to see. It's the halfway through this hour here, 22 minutes left. Pretty overbought. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Pretty overbought. We haven't been that overbought in a while. I made a video on Bitcoin talking about this exact same thought here, is that whenever you get this deep in the RSI, you typically don't stop there, right? You typically do move higher. Do we have any moments? Wow, this is the most overbought that we've been in quite some time. Let's go back here when we were this overbought or more. Let's just see if we stopped there. Okay. So we got that overbought. I guess we did stop there. We found a wick there. We did continue higher afterwards, and we did continue higher after that even. But that's not a good, I guess, representation of what I was looking for. I was looking more for something like this, where you stopped right here on this part, but you continued. It brought more growth. So it's not the best example of what I was trying to explain here, but really what I'm just trying to say is that typically, not always, but typically, why is it moving so slow? Do you guys see that? I'm going to have to restart my computer after this. Typically, whenever you get this deep into the RSI, you do expect more growth to come. And if we look at this 1 hour time frame, you do have higher lows and higher highs. Again, typical being the word. That doesn't mean that you have to, but maybe we come down, we come back up, we form some bearish divergence. That would at least give us enough momentum to push this thing higher, and I do think that we will go higher. Looking at the 4 hour time frame, actually, hold on, we just looked at the RSI. Let's look at the, what the heck is going on here, man? Let's look at the other indicators. Stochastics look great, MACD looks great, okay, cool. 4 hour time frame. We'll zoom in a little bit here. MACD's crossing above the zero. We love that. Building momentum. That's great. Beautiful. Not dying off in momentum. Stochastics doing the same. Beautiful. The RSI looks great as well. The strongest readings on the 4 hour and the 1 hour that we've seen in quite some time, you guys. We haven't been this strong on the 4 hour RSI since like April. April was the beginning. That was the very beginning of this move overall. I think we're in the beginning of our next phase higher. Absolutely, I do. Spectacular growth, you guys. Let's look at the high here, the current high. And then we'll take this low. High to low right here. Come on, little doggy. Come on, there we go. High to low right there. Golden ratio zone. Okay, so 561 to 577. We are pretty overbought on the 1 hour and the 4 hour time frame. So we could take a little pause here. Overall, again, I think that we are going to move higher, but from here, 557, maybe we do. If we were to move higher, 577 might be where we go, something like that. Okay, I would expect that we probably pull back to the 0.5 or the 382. We likely find support at 536 to 513. And again, being here at 557, 560, whatever, Bitcoin Cash is volatile, and I'm not the right person to ask, is it a good time to buy Bitcoin Cash? Because I'm going to say yes no matter what. We're below $1,000, yes. We're below $100,000, yes. It's a great time to buy Bitcoin Cash. $557 now, even with the potential pullback to $513 or even below there, it's still a great time to buy. If you buy here, you just wait. It'll come back up. But I do think, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, I think if you're patient, you'll probably have an opportunity to buy back below $540, which isn't that far away from here, but and it's not promised. It's certainly not promised, but I would expect that we do go 537 to 513, something in that zone there, find support, and then push higher over the coming days. By the end of the month, we're looking for prices that are anything from about $600 to $622 or higher by the end of this month, okay? I don't expect, what I don't expect is that we're going to continue to, oh, I just pushed an eyelash into my eye. That's never fun, is it? I don't expect us to continue at this pace, right? Like, we're up 10% today, which is nice. I don't think we'll be up 10% tomorrow. We'll see, but I just don't think that we will be. However, we are breaking back into this range here that we were in, right? This like sideways range, this horizontal channel. We have broken back into that range now, and I think that we will continue to push higher. Just first, again, a little turbulence maybe. Find some support at prior areas of support, and then move up higher. That'd be my expectation. We probably do that exact thing. We broke back into the range. We back test 530, which is right in our range of 513 to 537. Back test that for support, and then we probably return to the top side of the range where we will consolidate again, and then we'll really break out. We should really start to see, I think we'll see movement like this on a regular basis, this 10% day after day. We'll see that kind of consistent growth, stuff like this, once it's November, sometime in November. Okay, so we've got some spectacular price action ahead of us. Daily RSI is not even overbought yet. Stochastics are just getting overbought, and the MACD hasn't even crossed above the zero. We've got fantastic things ahead of us, but we got to set up, right? Imagine here, right? The big breakouts typically happen, the big moves happen once you cross above the zero, right? And I mean, they continue past that. You can have bigger movements up here, but they typically don't happen here, right? So as time goes on, we're going to break above the zero. This will likely be, again, that's like November 9th. I'm just drawing a random trajectory. It could be faster, it could be slower, whatever. But sometime in November likely will be the point at which we cross the zero. Sometime in, if we find a little turbulence here, we do what I think we're doing, we're pushing higher. We'll probably be in the overbought zone by the end of October, but likely we will continue to see readings in the overbought zone in November. So in November, we'll be overbought on the RSI. In November, we'll be crossing bullish on the MACD. In November, we'll probably be overbought on the stochastics as well. Typically, you expect to, if you're in a bullish trend, you expect to kind of stay in this overbought zone or bounce off the 50, come back in this overbought zone, stuff like this. I'm expecting something like that to happen. We can range, and maybe we range a little bit between now and the middle point of November, but I would expect that we get more consistent readings like this as November comes in. And I would think that pushes us higher. All that together really is what I'm trying to say, is that the MACD crossing the zero, stochastics being overbought, RSI being overbought all at the same time, that's a perfect formula for a whirlwind of upside price action to come in, okay? I think that we've got a lot of good things ahead of us. Looking at the weekly time frame here, the weekly RSI bounced right off the 40. Immaculate, perfect response. Perfect, literally freaking perfect, man. Couldn't ask for better. Stochastics bounced right off the oversold zone. Same thing, perfect, absolutely perfect. And the MACD on the weekly time frame is actually bullish. We're bullish over here. So there's no cross above the zero to look forward to. But whenever we do cross green again, that'll be something to look forward to. I want to look at the Heikin-Ashi candles, and then we can wrap this video up. Okay. We are red, so whenever we cross this green as well, that will promote some growth as well. We got to focus on the Heikin-Ashi, guys. I forget about the Heikin-Ashi sometimes. I check in on it, but just not enough. Daily's cool, but the weekly's more relevant. I think the monthly's most relevant. Oh yeah, what we don't want to do is we don't want to close this month red. The next 5 days, it'd be nice if we came up. I wouldn't want to see this month close red. We can do it. We can close the month red and still move higher, but I wouldn't prefer to see it. Like here, we close the month green and we still move lower. We can close the month red and still move higher. I prefer not to see it. Anyways, I don't really have anything else I want to say. I think I'm rambling at this point, so I'm just going to end the video there. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Lovely to see Bitcoin Cash up 10% today. Bitcoin's up less than 2%. I think it's clear which one's probably going to continue to outperform the other one between now and the rest of the cycle. This thing's got a lot of potential. Bitcoin might be going to 500,000, which is great. That's a nice little, like, less than 4x from here. Or no, I'm sorry, less than a 5x from here. But Bitcoin Cash is likely going to go to prices that are at like 13K or more. So again, anybody investing in Bitcoin, I think you should just take all of that and put it in BCH. You will have a lot more gains, a lot larger of an ROI than you would with Bitcoin. But time will tell. We'll see how it goes. I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care. Bye-bye.